Man, I want to buy a house, but how am I supposed to buy a house in a market like this? Like, who can really know what's going to happen? Am I going to be so glad that I bought one in 2022, 2 years from now? Or am I going to regret it like that was the dumbest decision ever? In today's video, we're going to explore the market. We're going to talk about whether it is or is not a good time still to buy real estate.
One shot, not a future for sure. Let's go. I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, not a future for sure. Let's go.
It is the question of the day. When should I buy a house? Man, emotions are running high. People are frustrated. They've been waiting for inventory. It hasn't shown up. And I got some insider information on what might be happening in the market. It's kind of scary. Man, we are in such a crazy market right now. I mean, check it out. We're still missing 5 million homes, and we got home builders building as fast as they possibly can. And normally what you'd think is, okay, there's all of this demand, and once you've eaten it up and you start creating a surplus of inventory, meaning more homes than we need, now you finally can have a market crash. This is traditionally how the game of real estate works. But right now we're seeing a contraction in the market and a rapid cooling. Why? 2 factors. Inflation was just reported last week at 8.6%. I want you to think about that. We're nearing 10%, and some are even arguing that we're there right now. That means that over the next 5 years, all of your savings, 401ks, IRAs, money that you've been accumulating, it's going to feel like it got cut in half, right? I lose 10% this year, 10% next year, 10% the third year, 10. That's 50%. So in the next 5 years, that's really causing a lot of people to pause. And even though we've got record high deposits, as in Americans specifically have more money sitting in the banks than they did even post 2008, they're sitting fat and sassy.
Just get all fat and sassy.
But there's a lot of reason to be nervous because number 2, Feds have been increasing the rates. And what that means is, wait a second, real estate's been record increasing in value. And if rates also go up, then not only am I getting a bigger mortgage, but my bigger mortgage is more expensive. My buddy who's close with a very large bank that I can't mention told him that last year, all of the new builds that got under contract, when it came time to actually have the buyers take them out and buy them, 90% of the buyers walked. Do you know why? Because the homes kept going up and rates increased and they couldn't afford the payment. Kris Krohn, you've transacted over 6,000 homes, over $1 billion worth of single family real estate. And it sounds to me like you might be getting like cold feet in the market. Check this out. We are currently in the golden age of real estate according to Zillow. Historically speaking, the ongoing housing boom is an anomaly. Over the past 2 years, U.S. home prices have soared 34.4%, including 19.8% over the past 12 months. For perspective, home prices have only risen an average of 4.6% per year since 1987. And Zillow predicts that home prices will continue to climb in 2022 with a 17.3% increase by January 2023. So right now, all of the reports are supporting this idea that, it's going to keep going up in value because we are missing millions of homes and there's a demand and people want these homes. But that demand is rapidly shifting in just the last couple of months because rates are going up really, really high, really fast. And it's pricing a lot of people now officially out of the market. Even if prices are high, if people can't afford them, what will happen? Will the market cool off or will it correct or will it crash?
Crash and burn, huh, Mav?
So here's the big question. Is it too late to get in? The Fed has increased interest rates to 5 and even 6%. This could raise your cost to borrow by thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. This might force buyers to make their offers more attractive by waiving contingencies or putting in an all-cash offer. For those buyers that are unable to do so, they could be stuck in a bidding war. We've seen a lot of that happen, but a lot of this has shifted in just the last 30 days, making everyone wonder, wait a second, is there going to be a correction in the market? Is Zillow wrong that the market's going to go up 17%? Could it actually flatline? Could it even go down?
Down, 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 down.
Before I answer this, let's take a look at why this is actually happening. There's a lot of people that are saying, whoa, did the pandemic actually create this anomaly that we've been experiencing, this golden age of real estate for the last 2 years that Zillow says is going to continue for the next year and maybe years to come? Check this out. The pandemic added to the supply chain disruption and incentivized people to move out of major cities. Because of the option to work remotely, it did not create the shortage. The housing shortage was actually already years in the making. Truth is, there's a lot of other contributing factors that have led to this shortage crisis that we're experiencing right now. For example, you have in the 2010s, only half of the amount of homes that were being built compared to the 2000s. You also have on top of that all of the low interest rates that we've experienced for the last decade. You also have the baby boomers that have decided just to stay in their homes and not move. And then you have the large millennial population that is up and coming, and many of them have had no interest in actually buying homes. This has kept the demand super, super high now all of a sudden as it's like crashing and hitting and coming home. And where are the houses? They're not there. So yeah, the pandemic is definitely a part of this, especially because you've got a lot of people that are now like, whoa, I can literally work remotely. I can work from home. I need a different house. I need a home and a house. I need a place that will serve as like my office since I'm not going to go into the office anymore. So it's complicated. There's definitely a lot of contributing factors, and it all boils down to this. Is it too late? Should you even consider buying a house right now? A crash is inevitable.
I am inevitable.
It's really just a question of when is it going to go down, because we saw a massive crash in 2008 and a lot of people still remember that, and they're wondering, is it going to be that bad? Is it going to be worse than 2008, or is it going to be more mellow? Even though a crash is inevitable, it won't resemble the 2008 type crash because the US housing market is not in another housing bubble. A housing bubble requires both home price overvaluation and speculation driving the market upward. We don't have either of those factors right now. Current speculation is that the market is starting to correct. Plus, home buyers today are in a better financial shape and should be better prepared to weather that kind of economic storm. Me personally, I think that we are going to see a cooling, not necessarily a massive drop in prices, because we still have all of this demand. People still need these homes, but you know what? They're going to wait and they're going to say, Fed, you need to drop those rates back down if you want me to start buying again, because guess what? The housing market is still going up in value, and you know what? That's way too expensive. The number one complaint that I hear from people on the street is, how is someone supposed to afford a national median price of $400,000 or $500,000? It's not realistic, not with where wages are at today, and so there has to be a cooling off period. We might be seeing the start of that right now. All right, what should you do? Well, I've got two perspectives for you to consider. The first is if you're buying a home for yourself. The second is if you're a subscriber on my channel, you're an investor and you're wanting to know, is Kris Krohn still buying real estate right now? Let's talk first about whether you're trying to buy a home for you and your family, right? Listen, the market's going to change. It's going to move up and down. And while you want to be super intelligent in your choice, at this point, you can just keep renting and kind of wait and see, or you can take the risk of buying a home and you hope that it doesn't go down in value. Personally, I think that the values are going to hold and they're likely still going to keep going up, even if the market cools a little bit. And I've got a different set of rules for if I'm buying a home for me and my family. I don't care so much at how good of an investment it is because I'm trying to find a place where I can make a home and a house for me and my family. I want it to be a long-term smart play, but I also want to have that permanency that I just don't get when I'm out there renting. So I'd bend some of the rules and I would probably take the risk and I'd buy a house so I can make a home for me and my family. But if you're an investor, it's a different story altogether. Right now, because of my rules are to buy homes beneath the median, I'm always buying. I've bought real estate pre-crash, post-crash, pre-crash, post-crash, and I'm going to tell you that because of my specific rules of how I buy real estate, it's always a good time for me to buy. I'll tell you in truth, right now with the market going up like this is a better time for me to buy. And because of what's just happened to rates, I can actually negotiate superior deals in the marketplace. And I want those deals right now. So I'm always in massive accumulation mode, but where we have fear in the streets right now, I usually do better in the market times like these. So if you're an investor, now's a great time for you to be buying as long as you have the right set of rules. This is the question then. Do you have a financial philosophy that works in up and down markets? And have you set some money aside that is either equity in your property or a 401k or IRA or savings that you could put into real estate as an investment? If the answer is yes, then there might be an opportunity for us to partner together because I have a financial philosophy and I have a track record that has survived up and down markets. In fact, exquisitely well. I've done over $1 billion worth of real estate. I'm building my portfolio bigger than ever before, and you could be a part of that. One of my goals right now is I am trucking hardcore towards $1 billion net worth. Because for me, I want to redistribute $1 billion the way that I want on this planet, and I want to help the people that I want to help, and I want to make a difference in the world. Part of that, though, in getting there is making a difference for you. I have the ability to show you how one house can literally turn into a multi-million-dollar portfolio over the next 2 decades. And if you want to go faster, then I got some strategies for that as well. So if you want to see what those look like, click the link below and actually look into what it looks like to partner with me. Let me show you my track record. Let me show you what I'm doing with all my other partners. Let me show you the markets that I'm buying in, and let me show you how I insulate myself from all of the media and the garbage and even the things that we've been talking about today, because there's a winning strategy between the lines, and you'll find it in the link below. I got together recently with Dolph DeRoos, literally one of my original real estate mentors. For a time, he was Robert Kiyosaki's financial advisor. He's written 23 books, New York Times bestseller. He's an amazing man. He's got a really fun accent that I like listening to. And in our partnership these days, we get a chance to consult on all sorts of real estate deals together. So we decided to make a video and say, you know what? Let's make 7 predictions for what's going to happen in the market, because so far my predictions have been holding up and so have his. If you want to know what we really think is going to happen in 2022 through 2025, click this video and let us show you. Today I'm going to give you analysis on what I think you should... Yep, one more time. Just mentally fried, guys. Sorry. I know, we're doing great. Yep, thanks. Man! Nope, you pressure.